Did you know that on average, one spends 43% of their working day consuming information? Now, this is a lot to take in for anyone. That's why we often have organization systems to make sure that, one, we can find it later when we want it, and also stuff is categorized for other uses. And of course, as the best way to store, read, and write information, Otio is no different. And therefore, folders are really handy for keeping all your stuff organized. As you can see, I've got a broad range of interests, and they're all categorized with folders. So imagine you have to work on a due diligence project, in this case for Shopify, an amazing company, may I add. Within this task, you're probably going to be using a bunch of different sources. For instance, financials. You might have their earnings press release, the annual reports, etc., as well as information from maybe Forrester Wave and other sources of data too. This can come in a range of different formats. And this is probably the basis of your research. So if I'm working with these sources, I would make a folder with an Otio. You just create a new folder here. And I've already made one, okay? I made it earlier, not to quote Blue Peter. But it's Shopify financials here, and you can add all the sources you're working with for this project. Now, of course, this is for mere organization purposes, but we believe there's additional value to be accrued rather than just an organization method with folders. So we're working really hard to add new features to folders. One of these is already launched, and it's to do with workflows, which is essentially a way to automate repetitive tasks. Now, let's say you have a repetitive task that you do each time, maybe this due diligence, and the structure of this task doesn't really change between the cases or projects or clients you work on. The only thing that really changes is the client itself, and therefore the specific sources of information relating to this. Now, we can kind of see how to map that out programmatically. You have a variable input, a fixed piece of analysis, and then a fixed structured output too. And Otio workflows are perfect for this. You can configure your own workflows, and one of the inputs could be a folder reader. Now, let's say the inputs change when working with a different client or a different project. Okay, maybe you're working on Salesforce in this instance. Then you would simply just take this away and then select the folder with all the sources. Now, I should add that Otio are market leaders in terms of extracting information from really long documents. So in our case, of course, there's only 2 PDFs. But this could be stacked with 10, 15, even more PDFs. Our AI retrieval methods have no trouble retrieving that information. So of course, workflow automation is a key source of driving enterprise-level efficiency. But we also have many ideas for how we can use folders, including collaborative folders for sharing your sources, leveraging these into projects themselves with project-specific context as well for the AI to work with. But we've got loads of ideas related to this, so I would really love your input as to how you use folders in your day-to-day life. Do you use them? But folders are a real life changer within Otio, and it's super easy to make them. So yeah, I'd love your opinions, and to be honest, the best place to put them is one, of course, in the comment section, and that's after you subscribe to our channel, but also within our Discord server, which is where you can find other fans of Otio hanging out. I mean, or you could be converted to a fan within that. I'm not going to impose, but I'm also hanging out there so you can ask any questions. I'm going off on a tangent. This is how folders work within Otio. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.